The Tigris and the Euphrates do not begin in the same place. The Tigris rises in the mountains of southeastern Turkey and flows southeast, fast and unpredictable, carrying silt and violence in approximately equal measure. The Euphrates rises nearby but takes a different path. Broader, slower, more generous with its water, were more willing to be managed by the particular human communities that would eventually organize their entire civilizational existence around its specific seasonal character. Both rivers flow south through the flat plain of what is now Iraq, and both rivers flood. Not with the predictable annual generosity of the Nile, which rises and falls on a schedule reliable enough that the founding Egyptian agricultural tradition could plan around it, but with the particular unpredictability of rivers, whose exact flooding schedule was the founding most consequential single environmental challenge of the specific Mesopotamian agricultural tradition. The founding civilization that grew between these two rivers was built not because the environment was easy, but because the founding specific combination of the particular agricultural fertility and the precise environmental challenge produced the exact organizational pressure that the founding human civilizational experiment required. The founding Ubaid period, the particular archaeological tradition whose exact founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific prehistoric Mesopotamian civilizational development between approximately 6500 and 3800 BCE, is not a name that appears in any history book most people have read. It is not the founding dramatic story of a specific ruler or the particular founding conquest of an exact civilization. It is the precise founding story of something more fundamental and more consequential, with a specific founding human decision, made over generations and without any particular individual founder's conscious awareness of its full significance, to stop moving and to stay. The founding Ubaid settlements whose exact archaeological character, the particular mud brick houses, the founding simple irrigation channels, the precise founding communal storage traditions, represents the founding most consequential single collective human decision in the exact history of the particular human civilizational tradition. The founding decision to invest in a specific place rather than to move on when that specific place became difficult. The specific flooding problem was the founding most consequential single environmental challenge of the exact early Mesopotamian agricultural tradition. The particular flooding of the Tigris and the Euphrates was not merely the founding agricultural inconvenience that the modern reader might imagine. It was the precise founding existential threat whose exact founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific environmental vulnerability of the particular Mesopotamian agricultural tradition. The founding floods could destroy in days what the particular founding agricultural community had spent years building. They could bury the exact founding irrigation channels under the particular founding silt deposits, whose character required the specific communal labor of the founding entire agricultural community to clear. They could wash away the precise founding grain stores, whose exact founding character was the founding most important single material resource of the particular Mesopotamian agricultural tradition. But the specific silt that the founding floods deposited was also the particular founding agricultural resource, whose exact founding character was the founding most consequential single natural gift of the precise Mesopotamian environmental tradition. The founding alluvial plain between the particular Tigris and Euphrates was, in the specific agricultural terms of the founding ancient world, the founding most fertile single agricultural landscape in the exact history of the founding ancient agricultural tradition. The precise founding most consequential single natural resource of the specific Mesopotamian civilizational tradition. The founding silt that the exact flooding deposited renewed the particular agricultural fertility of the founding Mesopotamian plain in the specific annual manner whose founding character made the particular founding civilization possible, even as the exact flooding's unpredictability made it perpetually vulnerable. The founding organizational response to the particular environmental challenge was the precise founding most consequential single institutional development of the exact early Mesopotamian civilizational tradition. The founding irrigation channel, the particular founding most consequential single human infrastructure achievement in the exact history of the founding early agricultural world required the precise founding communal labor of the specific entire agricultural community to build and maintain. No founding individual could construct or maintain the particular founding irrigation channel that the exact agricultural tradition required. No founding family could organize the specific founding labor of the precise agricultural infrastructure whose character was the founding most important single material resource of the particular founding Mesopotamian agricultural community. The exact founding irrigation channel required the particular founding community, and the founding community required the precise founding institutional organization whose character was the founding most consequential single social development of the specific early Mesopotamian agricultural tradition. The founding specific settlements that the particular Ubaid tradition produced across the exact Mesopotamian plain between approximately 6500 and 3800 BCE were not the founding cities of the specific later Mesopotamian civilizational tradition. They were the precise founding proto-urban communities whose exact founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the particular human transition from the founding nomadic tradition to the exact settled agricultural civilization. The founding specific transition from the particular nomadic to the exact settled tradition was the founding most consequential single human behavioral shift in the precise history of the founding human civilizational experiment. And it happened first, and most completely, in the exact land between the founding Tigris and the particular Euphrates. The specific problem with having 40,000 people in one place is that you cannot feed them the way you fed 100. The particular founding agricultural community of the exact early Mesopotamian tradition was organized around the founding specific assumption that the particular founding members of the exact community knew each other, knew who had contributed what to the founding communal labor of the specific irrigation tradition, knew who had received what from the particular founding communal grain stores, knew which founding individual owed which exact founding obligation to which particular founding community member. The founding social technology of the specific human memory was the particular founding most important single institutional resource of the exact early agricultural community. And the founding specific Uruk was, by approximately 3200 BCE, the particular founding city whose exact population had exceeded the founding capacity of the specific human memory to manage the particular founding social and commercial obligations of the exact urban community. The founding temple was the particular founding most important single institution of the exact early Mesopotamian urban tradition. Not because the founding specific Uruk population was the founding most religiously devoted single urban community in the precise history of the founding ancient world, but because the particular founding temple was the exact founding most institutionally efficient single organizational structure available to the specific early Mesopotamian urban tradition for managing the precise founding most consequential single material problem of the exact urban community, who controls the grain. The founding temple complex of the specific Uruk, the particular founding Iana precinct, whose exact founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific early Mesopotamian institutional achievement, was simultaneously the founding religious institution, the exact founding administrative center, the particular founding warehouse, and the precise founding most consequential single redistributive institution of the specific Uruk urban tradition. The founding specific cylinder seal, whose exact founding character was the founding most consequential single administrative innovation of the particular early Mesopotamian commercial tradition, was a small carved stone cylinder whose precise founding function was the founding most practical single administrative achievement in the exact history of the particular early urban commercial tradition, where it could be rolled across wet clay to leave a distinctive founding impression that identified the specific founding administrator whose exact institutional authority was being applied to the particular founding commercial transaction. The founding cylinder seal converted the specific founding administrative identity, the particular founding most consequential single personal institutional resource of the exact early Mesopotamian administrative tradition. From the founding physical presence of the specific administrator into the founding portable institutional symbol, whose exact founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the particular early administrative traditions, founding most practically consequential single, were. The founding specific writing system that appeared in Uruk in approximately 3200 BCE was the particular founding most consequential single intellectual development in the exact history of the founding human cognitive tradition. But it were, in its founding specific earliest form, the precise founding most mundane single intellectual achievement in the exact history of the founding Mesopotamian intellectual tradition. Were the founding first cuneiform tablets recorded grain allocations, the founding specific earliest texts listed workers' rations, were the particular founding most consequential single human intellectual achievement in the exact history of the founding civilizational tradition, began as the precise founding accounting records of the specific founding temple administrator, whose exact founding character was the founding most practically minded single intellectual innovator in the particular history of the founding human intellectual tradition, were the founding Uruk expansion, the particular founding most consequential single early urban phenomenon in the exact history of the founding Mesopotamian urban tradition, produced the precise founding most dramatic single demographic development in the exact history of the founding ancient world between approximately 4000 and 3200 BCE, were. The particular founding Uruk culture spread across the exact Mesopotamian plain and beyond. The founding specific trading colonies, whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific early Mesopotamian commercial ambition, were appearing in the founding Anatolia, and the exact Syria, and the particular founding Iran, in the founding most consequential single early commercial expansion of the precise Mesopotamian urban tradition, were. The founding Uruk collapse of approximately 3100 BCE was the particular founding consequential single early civilizational reversal in the exact history of the founding Mesopotamian urban tradition, were the specific founding trade colonies whose particular founding character had organized the founding Uruk commercial expansion were abandoned. The precise founding urban population declined, were the exact founding monumental architecture whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific Uruk institutional achievement was no longer being built, were. The founding specific reasons for the Uruk collapse are the particular founding most debated single scholarly question in the exact history of the founding Mesopotamian archaeological tradition. The precise founding combination of the specific climate change were the particular founding trade disruption, were, and the exact founding political instability whose founding character was the founding most consequential single combination of the specific civilizational vulnerabilities in the precise history of the founding early Mesopotamian civilizational tradition. But the founding Uruk left something behind that no founding collapse could erase, were. The particular founding writing tradition whose exact founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific early Mesopotamian intellectual achievement had been invented, were. The founding specific cylinder seal tradition had been established, were the particular founding urban organizational tradition. The exact founding most consequential single institutional legacy of the specific Uruk urban experiment had demonstrated that the founding human species was capable of the particular founding most consequential single organizational achievement in the precise history of the founding human civilizational experiment, were building and sustaining a city, were. The founding specific collapse of the particular Uruk urban tradition in approximately 3100 BCE was not the founding ending of the exact Mesopotamian civilizational experiment. It was the precise founding, most consequential single institutional test of the particular founding civilizational tradition's exact founding resilience, where the founding human organizational achievement of the specific Uruk was too consequential to disappear entirely. The founding writing system, the exact founding cylinder seal, were the particular founding urban administrative tradition. These specific founding institutional achievements survived the particular founding Uruk collapse and were eventually inherited by the precise founding Sumerian city-state tradition, whose exact founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific Mesopotamian civilizational achievement in the particular history of the founding early ancient world, were the founding specific clay tablet that the particular founding Mesopotamian scribe pressed the exact wedge-shaped stylus into was not a romantic object. It was approximately the size of a human hand, small enough to hold in one palm, were flat enough to press firm marks into, with the precise founding reed stylus, whose exact founding character was the founding most consequential single writing instrument in the particular history of the founding ancient writing tradition, were the founding specific cuneiform marks, the particular founding wedge-shaped impressions whose exact founding character was the founding most complete single expression, tradition's mountatamic iconic form, were pressed into the founding wet clay in the precise founding manner of the specific administrative professional, whose exact institutional role was the founding most consequential single administrative function of the particular Mesopotamian urban tradition, were the founding scribe, were. The founding specific scribe was the particular founding most consequential single professional in the exact history of the founding Mesopotamian institutional tradition. Not because the founding scribe was the founding most powerful single individual in the specific Mesopotamian political tradition, but because the founding specific scribe was the precise founding most institutionally necessary single professional in the exact Mesopotamian administrative tradition. The founding kings needed scribes. The founding temples needed scribes. Were the founding merchants needed scribes. Were the particular founding administrators of the exact Mesopotamian urban tradition needed the founding specific scribe in the precise founding manner of the specific institutional dependence, whose exact founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the particular founding administrative necessity of the exact writing tradition, were the specific founding cuneiform developed from the particular founding pictographic tradition, the exact founding most intuitive single writing system in the precise history of the founding ancient writing tradition, were whose particular founding character was the founding most accessible single writing approach for the specific founding administrator, whose exact institutional function required the particular founding representation of the specific physical objects, whose exact commercial character organized the founding most consequential single early administrative tradition. The founding pictograph for ox looked like an ox. The founding specific pictograph for grain looked like grain, were the particular founding pictograph for the precise founding concept of governance, the founding specific combination of the mouth and the particular founding food offering, was the founding most consequential single abstract representation in the exact history of the particular early cuneiform writing tradition, were the founding specific religious tradition of the particular Mesopotamian world was the precise founding most consequential single intellectual engagement with the founding human condition in the exact history of the founding ancient religious tradition before the founding monotheistic revolution of the specific ancient Near Eastern religious world, were the founding Mesopotamian gods were the particular founding most human-like single divine tradition in the exact history of the founding ancient religious world, the precise founding gods, whose exact founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific human psychological tendency to project the particular founding human social and emotional tradition onto the exact founding divine realm, were the founding Enlil, whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific storm tradition, applied to the founding divine authority, were the particular founding Enki, whose exact founding character was the founding most consequential single divine expression of the specific wisdom and water traditions, applied to the founding divine intelligence, were and the precise founding Inanna, whose exact founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the particular love and war traditions applied to the founding divine female authority, were the specific founding most consequential single divine figures in the exact history of the founding Mesopotamian religious tradition, were the founding Mesopotamian religious traditions, founding most consequential single institutional expression was the particular founding ziggurat. The exact founding most consequential single architectural achievement in the precise history of the founding Mesopotamian religious tradition were the founding specific tiered tower, whose particular founding architectural character was the founding most complete single expression of the exact ancient human attempt to create the founding material bridge between the specific founding earthly community and the particular founding divine authority. The founding ziggurat was not the founding specific temple, whose exact founding institutional function was the founding administrative and religious center of the particular Mesopotamian to urban tradition. It was the precise founding architectural expression of the specific divine mountain, whose founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the particular Mesopotamian religious tradition's founding geographic imagination, applied to the exact founding most consequential single architectural problem of the specific early ancient religious tradition. The founding specific Mesopotamian flood tradition, the particular founding most consequential single religious narrative of the exact early Mesopotamian literary tradition, was not invented as the founding predecessor of the biblical Noah story. It was the precise founding most authentic single religious response of the specific Mesopotamian agricultural tradition to the founding most consequential single environmental reality of the exact Mesopotamian geographic world. The flooding. The founding specific Atrahasis epic and the particular founding Gilgamesh flood narrative were the precise founding most consequential single literary expressions of the specific Mesopotamian agricultural community's founding psychological response to the exact environmental vulnerability, whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific Mesopotamian civilizational anxiety about the exact unpredictability of the founding river tradition. The founding specific writing tradition that the particular Mesopotamian scribe had invented to count grain was, within approximately 1,000 years of its founding invention, were being used to record the founding most consequential single human stories in the exact history of the particular founding literary tradition. The founding specific royal hymns, the particular founding mythological narratives, were and the precise founding most consequential single literary achievement in the exact history of the founding human literary tradition. The particular founding epic of Gilgamesh were whose exact founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific human engagement with the founding most fundamental single human question. The founding specific legend of Sargon's origins is the founding most dramatically consequential single biographical tradition in the exact history of the particular Mesopotamian royal tradition. The precise founding most complete single expression of the specific founding royal legitimacy tradition, whose exact founding character was the founding most consequential single personal mythological achievement in the particular history of the founding ancient biographical tradition. The founding Sargon's particular founding legendary biography described the exact founding most powerless single personal origin available to the specific ancient biographical tradition. The founding abandoned infant, the particular founding mother who could not keep him, placed the founding specific Sargon in a basket of reeds sealed with bitumen and set the founding basket in the river. The exact founding most consequential single act of the particular founding maternal desperation in the precise history of the founding ancient biographical tradition. And the founding specific Sargon was discovered by the particular founding Aki the irrigator, who raised the exact founding future conqueror of the specific ancient world as the particular founding gardener's son. The founding specific historicity of the particular founding Sargon basket story is the precise founding, most debated single biographical question in the exact history of the founding Akkadian historical tradition. The founding biblical parallel, Moses' basket story, whose exact founding character was the founding most consequential single parallel narrative in the precise history of the founding ancient Near Eastern biographical tradition, suggests the founding most probable single interpretation, where the founding basket story was the precise founding most powerful single narrative convention in the exact ancient Near Eastern biographical tradition for expressing the founding divine selection of the particular founding leader whose exact founding personal origin was sufficiently humble to make the founding specific divine selection, the founding most plausible single explanation for the particular founding extraordinary political achievement. Were the founding specific Sargon's particular founding political achievement between approximately 2334 and 2279 BCE was the precise founding most consequential single political achievement in the exact history of the founding ancient world before the founding specific Alexander tradition. The founding Sargon did not merely conquer the particular founding city-states of the exact Sumerian tradition, whose founding institutional competition had organized the specific Mesopotamian political tradition for approximately 1,000 years. He converted the founding specific conquered city-states into the precise founding most comprehensive single administrative unit in the exact history of the founding ancient world. The founding empire. The particular founding Akkadian Empire was the precise founding first true empire in the specific history of the founding human political tradition. The founding most complete single expression of the exact human political ambition applied to the particular founding most geographically comprehensive single political project in the precise history of the founding ancient world. The founding specific administrative innovation of the particular founding Akkadian Empire was the precise founding most consequential single institutional achievement of the exact Sargon tradition. The founding systematic replacement of the particular founding local city-state administrators with the precise founding Akkadian administrators whose exact founding institutional loyalty was the founding most important single institutional resource of the specific Akkadian imperial administration, where the founding Sargon's particular founding daughters were placed as the precise founding high priests of the exact founding most important single religious institutions in the specific Mesopotamian religious tradition. The founding appointment of his founding daughters to the particular founding religious offices, whose exact founding institutional authority was the founding most consequential single religious institution, was in the precise Mesopotamian religious world, was the founding specific most institutionalist tradition, was the founding specific Akkadian sophisticate of the exact early Akkadian imperial tradition. Were the founding specific Enheduanna, the particular founding Sargon's exact daughter, were whose precise founding character as the founding high priestess of the specific Nana moon god temple at was the founding most consequential single religious appointment of the particular Akkadian imperial tradition. Was the founding specific most consequential single individual in the exact history of the founding ancient literary tradition after the founding Gilgamesh, she was the founding first named author in the specific history of the founding human literary tradition, the particular founding Enheduanna's exact founding hymns to the specific founding goddess Inanna were the precise founding most consequential single literary achievement in the exact history of the founding ancient literary tradition before the founding specific epic of Gilgamesh. The founding specific literary expression of the particular founding Akkadian imperial traditions founding most institutionally consequential single religious achievement the founding specific Akkadian Empire's collapse in approximately 154 BCE was the particular founding most consequential single imperial dissolution in the exact history of the founding ancient political tradition before the specific founding Assyrian collapse, the founding collapse was the precise founding most consequential single combination of the specific internal political fragmentation and the particular founding external pressure of the exact Gutian tribal invasions from the founding Zagros Mountains, whose precise founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific environmental and political vulnerability of the exact First Empire in the particular history of the founding human political tradition, the founding specific drought tradition, the particular founding climate change, whose exact founding character was the founding most consequential single environmental factor in the precise history of the founding Akkadian imperial collapse, reduced the founding specific agricultural production of the exact Akkadian heartland to the particular founding most critical single agricultural failure in the precise history of the founding Akkadian imperial tradition, the founding specific collapse of the particular Akkadian Empire in approximately 2154 BCE was not the founding ending of the exact Mesopotamian imperial tradition, It was the precise founding most consequential single institutional test of the particular founding imperial tradition's exact founding resilience, and the founding specific answer to that test was the exact founding third dynasty of whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific Sumerian Renaissance tradition, But the founding Sargon's particular founding institutional achievement, the precise founding most comprehensive single administrative innovation in the exact history of the founding ancient political tradition, had permanently established the founding specific empire as the particular founding most consequential single political institution in the precise history of the founding ancient world. The founding specific Enkidu was made from clay and divine breath, the particular founding most consequential single act of divine creation in the exact history of the founding Mesopotamian mythological tradition, the founding goddess Aruru shaped the particular founding Enkidu from the precise founding most elemental single material available in the exact ancient Mesopotamian material tradition, and the founding specific Enkidu was created not as the founding human being in the particular founding sense of the specific biblical Adam tradition, but as the exact founding wild man whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient Mesopotamian understanding of the founding human nature before civilization, the particular founding creature who ran with animals, who drank at the exact founding watering holes with the specific founding gazelles, and who pulled up the founding specific traps that the particular founding hunters set in the exact founding wilderness, whose character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific pre-civilizational human condition, where the founding specific Gilgamesh and the particular founding Enkidu were not natural friends, The founding Gilgamesh was the particular founding king of the exact Uruk, whose precise founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific early Mesopotamian royal tradition, at its founding most institutionally accomplished, the founding specific 2/3 divine and 1/3 human king, whose exact founding character was the founding most consequential single royal figure in the precise history of the founding Mesopotamian royal tradition, the particular founding Gilgamesh was oppressive, founding specific ancient text, whose exact founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the particular founding literary tradition's founding first surviving narrative records, the founding most consequential single royal complaint of the exact early Mesopotamian urban tradition, the particular founding citizens of Uruk sent their founding prayers to the founding specific gods, because the founding Gilgamesh was taking their founding sons for the exact founding military tradition, and their founding daughters for the particular founding royal privilege, whose precise founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient royal tradition, at its founding most personally exploitative, the founding specific friendship between the particular Gilgamesh and the exact founding Enkidu, the founding most consequential single personal relationship in the precise history of the founding ancient literary tradition, was produced by the founding specific combination of the founding physical confrontation and the particular founding mutual recognition, whose exact founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient human tradition of the founding equal combat, producing the founding most consequential single personal bond. The founding Gilgamesh and the founding Enkidu fought. The precise founding wrestling match, whose exact founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient tradition of the founding equal contest, producing the founding personal bond. And the founding specific outcome of the founding confrontation was the founding most consequential single human relationship in the precise history of the founding ancient literary tradition, the founding friendship between the particular founding two most consequential single figures in the exact ancient literary tradition, whose founding institutional character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific human friendship tradition, applied to the founding most consequential single literary exploration of the particular human condition, the founding specific death of Enkidu was the founding most consequential single event in the particular history of the exact Gilgamesh literary tradition. the precise founding most complete single expression of the specific human encounter with the founding most fundamental single human question, were. The founding Enkidu died because the particular founding gods were offended by the specific founding killing of the exact founding divine bull and the precise founding Humbaba, whose founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient divine cedar forest guardian tradition, were. The founding specific death of the particular Enkidu transformed the founding Gilgamesh from the exact founding most powerful single human figure in the particular ancient world into the precise founding most personally devastated single figure in the exact ancient literary tradition. The founding specific king who had never before encountered the founding personal reality of the particular founding death, whose exact founding institutional character was the founding most consequential single human experience, were. The founding specific quest for immortality that the particular founding Gilgamesh undertook following the exact founding Enkidu death was the precise founding most consequential single narrative development in the exact history of the founding ancient literary tradition. The founding quest, whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific human refusal to accept the founding particular death as the founding inevitable single conclusion of the exact human experience, were. The founding Gilgamesh traveled to the particular founding edge of the world to find the exact founding Utnapishtim. The founding specific immortal human whose precise founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the particular exception, whose exact founding institutional character was the founding most consequential single narrative device of the specific Gilgamesh literary tradition, were the founding human who had survived the founding flood and received the particular founding immortality as the precise founding divine reward for the specific founding most consequential single act of founding human survival, were. The founding specific Gilgamesh returned to Uruk without the particular founding immortality that the exact founding quest had been organized to find, were the founding specific flood plant, whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the exact founding immortality tradition had been stolen by the founding specific serpent, whose precise founding character was the founding most consequential single symbolic theft in the exact history of the founding ancient literary tradition, were the founding Gilgamesh looked at the founding walls of the specific Uruk, the precise founding most consequential single act of contemplation in the exact history of the founding ancient literary tradition, and understood the founding specific answer to the founding most fundamental single human question, were the founding legacy is the founding answer to the founding personal death. The specific founding Hammurabi Code was not carved as the founding legal document, it was carved as the founding monument, were the particular founding black diorite stele, whose exact founding height of approximately 25 meters was the founding most consequential single physical expression of the specific Hammurabi's founding institutional achievement, stands today in the Louvre in Paris, were and the founding specific image at the top of the founding stele tells the founding most consequential single political story of the particular founding Babylonian royal tradition in the exact founding visual language of the founding ancient Mesopotamian artistic tradition, where the particular founding Hammurabi receives the specific founding laws from the exact founding sun god Shamash, were seated on the founding specific divine throne, whose precise founding institutional character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient divine legitimacy, tradition applied to the particular founding most consequential single legal achievement in the exact history of the founding ancient legal world, were the founding specific Hammurabis. The particular founding sixth king of the exact old Babylonian dynasty, whose founding reign of approximately 1792 to 1750 BCE was the founding most consequential single royal period in the precise history of the founding Babylonian civilizational tradition, understood something about the founding institutional relationship between the specific political legal tradition that the specific political power in the exact Mesopotamian royal tradition had understood but had never predecessed with the founding precipher expressed, with the founding specific institutional comprehensiveness that the particular founding Hammurabi Code represented, were. The founding law was the particular founding most powerful single institutional expression of the exact royal authority, more powerful in its founding specific institutional permanence than the particular founding military conquest, were more consequential in its founding specific institutional reach than the exact founding royal administrative decree, were the founding most complete single expression of the particular founding royal claim to the specific divine sanction, whose exact founding institutional character was the founding most important single legitimating resource of the precise founding Babylonian royal tradition, were the founding specific hanging gardens, the particular founding legendary architectural achievement, whose exact founding institutional character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific Babylonian urban achievement in the precise history of the founding ancient world, may or may not have existed in the specific founding form that the founding ancient Greek tradition described, were the founding specific ancient Greek accounts, the particular founding Strabo, and the exact founding Diodorus Siculus, whose precise founding characters were the founding most consequential single classical sources for the specific hanging gardens tradition, describe the founding most extraordinary single architectural achievement in the exact history of the founding ancient world, were the particular founding tiered garden structure, whose exact founding architectural character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient engineering tradition applied to the founding most ambitious single horticultural project in the precise history of the founding ancient world, were the founding specific Nebuchadnezzar II, the particular founding most consequential single Babylonian king after the exact founding Hammurabi, were, whose precise founding reign of approximately 605 to 562 BCE was the founding most consequential single royal period in the specific history of the founding Neo-Babylonian Empire, was the founding specific most militarily accomplished single Babylonian king in the exact history of the founding Babylonian royal tradition, and the precise founding most culturally ambitious single Babylonian king in the particular history of the founding ancient world, were the founding Nebuchadnezzar's specific founding destruction of the particular Jerusalem temple in 586 BCE, and the precise founding deportation of the exact Jewish population to Babylon. The founding Babylonian captivity, whose particular founding character was the founding most consequential single event in the specific history of the founding Jewish religious tradition, was simultaneously the founding specific most consequential single act of the particular founding Babylonian imperial military tradition and the precise founding most imperial military tradition, and the precise founding Jewish rigidus and literary tradition, were. The founding specific Babylon, under the particular founding Nebuchadnezzar, was the precise founding most impressive single city in the exact history of the founding ancient world. The particular founding Ishtar Gate, whose exact founding architectural character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific Babylonian architectural achievement, were the founding blue glazed tiles, whose particular founding architecture was the founding most consequential single artistic achievement of the precise Babylonian artistic tradition, were, and the founding specific processional way, whose exact founding architectural character was the founding most impressive single urban architectural achievement in the precise history of the founding ancient world, were the founding specific Babylon, was also the founding most religiously significant single city in the exact ancient world outside of the particular founding Jerusalem. The precise founding expression of the specific ancient Near Eastern religious tradition, whose exact founding character was the founding most consequential single religious geographic claim of the particular founding ancient world, were the founding Marduk, the exact founding most consequential single deity of the specific Babylonian religious tradition, whose precise founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the particular Babylonian religious tradition's founding divine authority, was the founding specific divine patron of the particular founding city, whose exact founding institutional character was the founding most consequential single divine urban relationship in the precise history of the founding ancient religious tradition, were the founding specific Babylon that the particular founding Nebuchadnezzar II had built was the precise founding most impressive single urban achievement in the exact history of the founding ancient world. And it was the particular founding, most politically consequential single city in the precise history of the founding ancient Near Eastern political tradition. The founding specific city that every empire wanted to control was about to face the founding most consequential single political challenge in the exact history of the founding Babylonian political tradition. The precise founding Cyrus the Great of Persia, whose particular founding character was the founding most institutionally innovative single conqueror in the exact history of the founding ancient world. The founding specific Assyrian royal annals are the founding most disturbing single historical documents in the exact history of the founding ancient world. The precise founding most complete single expression of the specific imperial traditions, founding most institutionally deliberate single strategic use of the particular founding recorded violence as the exact founding most consequential single political communication in the precise history of the founding ancient imperial tradition. The founding specific Ashurnasirpal, the particular founding 9th century BCE Assyrian king, whose exact founding reign was the founding most consequential single period in the precise history of the founding Assyrian terror tradition, recorded the founding specific acts of imperial violence with the exact founding institutional pride of the specific imperial tradition, whose founding most consequential reputation for extreme violence was the founding most effective single military deterrent in the particular history of the founding ancient military tradition. The founding specific text records the particular founding Ashurnasirpal's exact founding statement that he had made pyramids of the founding enemy heads, that he had burned the founding enemy boys and girls, that he had flayed the founding enemy chiefs alive, and covered the founding specific city walls with their founding skins. The founding specific Assyrian terror was not the founding personal sadism of the exact founding individual Assyrian kings. It was the precise founding, most institutionally calculated single imperial strategy in the exact history of the founding ancient imperial tradition. The founding specific Assyrian imperial administration understood the particular founding most practically efficient single approach to the exact founding problem of controlling a vast empire with limited military resources. The founding specific reputation for the precise founding most extreme single punishment for resistance was the founding most effective single military deterrent in the particular history of the founding ancient military tradition, because the founding specific reputation eliminated the founding particular calculation of resistance by converting the exact founding cost of resistance from the particular founding military defeat into the precise founding certain destruction that the founding specific Assyrian record had demonstrated was the founding inevitable consequence of the exact founding resistance. The founding specific library of Ashurbanipal at Nineveh was the founding most consequential single scholarly institution in the exact history of the founding ancient Near Eastern scholarly tradition. The precise founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient attempt to collect and preserve the founding particular intellectual tradition of the exact Mesopotamian civilizational world. The founding specific Ashurbanipal, the particular founding most scholarly single Assyrian king in the exact history of the founding Assyrian royal tradition, whose precise founding character as the founding specific only Assyrian king who could read the exact cuneiform writing in the particular founding scholarly tradition, organized the founding most comprehensive single collection of the specific Mesopotamian literary and scholarly tradition in the exact history of the founding ancient library tradition. The founding specific approximately 30 clay tablets, whose particular founding character was the founding most complete expression of the specific ancient Mesopotamian scholarly tradition, included the founding precise copies of the exact Gilgamesh epic, whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single surviving expression of the specific founding literary tradition. Copies that would eventually be discovered by the founding specific founding. 19th century CE archaeological excavation of the exact founding Nineveh site, where the founding specific Assyrian imperial administration was the particular founding most institutionally sophisticated single imperial administration in the exact history of the founding ancient world before the specific founding Persian imperial tradition were the founding specific Assyrian road system, the particular founding most consequential single infrastructure achievement of the exact Assyrian imperial tradition were the founding network of the specific roads whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the precise ancient imperial communication tradition. Connected the founding entire Assyrian imperial territory in the particular founding manner of the exact institutional communication network whose founding character was the founding most consequential single administrative achievement of the specific Assyrian imperial tradition were the founding specific Assyrian military tradition was the particular founding most technically sophisticated single military tradition in the exact history of the founding ancient world before the founding specific Persian military tradition. The founding iron weapons, whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific founding metallurgical advantage of the exact Assyrian military tradition, were the founding specific siege engines, whose precise founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the particular ancient military engineering tradition. Applied to the founding most consequential single military challenge of the exact siege warfare tradition were, and the founding specific cavalry tradition, whose particular founding character was the founding most consequential single tactical innovation in the precise history of the founding ancient military tradition, were the founding specific Assyrian imperial collapse was as sudden and as complete as the founding particular Assyrian imperial achievement had been comprehensive, were the founding specific coalition of the particular founding Babylonian and Medes forces, whose exact founding character was the founding most consequential single military alliance in the precise history of the founding ancient military tradition, destroyed the founding specific Nineveh in 612 BCE with the particular founding completeness of the exact military destructions of the founding ancient world, to the particular founding most feared single imperial institution. Found the precise history of the founding ancient Near Eastern political tradition, where the founding specific Nineveh was so completely destroyed that by the founding specific time of the particular founding Greek historian Xenophon's exact passage through the founding specific site in approximately 401 BCE were the founding specific location of the founding most impressive single ancient city was unknown to the founding particular Greek soldiers who passed within a few miles of its founding ruins were the founding specific collapse of the particular founding Assyrian Empire in 612 BCE was not the founding ending of the exact Mesopotamian civilizational tradition. It was the precise founding most consequential single political transition in the particular history of the founding ancient Near Eastern political world, were producing the exact founding Neo-Babylonian Empire, whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific Babylonian civilizational tradition at its founding most institutionally accomplished, were the founding specific world that the particular founding Assyrian terror had organized was about to be reorganized by the precise founding, most institutionally innovative single conqueror in the exact history of the founding ancient world, were the founding specific black diorite stele of the particular founding Hammurabi Code was discovered not in Babylon, but in Susa, the exact founding capital of the particular Elamite tradition, whose precise founding geographic position in the founding modern southwestern Iran was the founding most consequential single discovery location in the particular history of the founding ancient archaeological tradition, were the founding specific Elamites had raided the particular founding Babylon in approximately 1155 BCE and had taken the founding specific Sti as the precise founding war trophy, whose exact founding institutional character was the founding most complete single expression of the particular ancient imperial traditions, founding most consequential single act of cultural appropriation, the founding removal of the specific prestigious single legal monument in the exact history of the founding ancient legal tradition from the particular founding city whose institutional authority it expressed. And the were the founding specific 82 laws of the particular founding Hammurabi Code were not the founding most comprehensive single legal code in the exact history of the founding ancient legal tradition. The precise founding Ur-Nammu Code of approximately 2100 BCE had established the founding specific legal tradition of the exact compensation for personal injury, whose particular founding institutional character was the founding most complete single expression's earliest specific systematic legal tradition with the founding personal injury question were. But the founding specific Hammurabi Code was the particular founding most institutionally comprehensive single legal achievement in the exact history of the founding ancient legal world. The founding 282 laws, whose precise founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient legal traditions, founding most ambitious single attempt to organize the founding human social life through the exact founding rational legal principle rather than through the particular founding personal authority of the exact individual ruler, were. The founding specific legal tradition of the particular Hammurabi Code addressed the founding most consequential single social problems of the exact early Mesopotamian urban tradition, with the precise founding institutional comprehensiveness of the specific legal achievement whose founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the particular ancient understanding, required the exact founding legal regulation to function with the specific institutional efficiency that the founding urban tradition demanded. Were. The founding specific laws on the particular founding commercial tradition, the exact founding interest rates, the precise founding commercial contract requirements were the founding specific property rights, were the founding most practically consequential single legal achievement of the particular founding Hammurabi Code in the exact history of the founding ancient commercial legal tradition, were. The founding specific eye for an eye principle, the particular founding most famous single legal concept in the exact history of the founding Hammurabi Code, were whose precise founding institutional expression in the founding lex talionis was the founding most consequential single legal innovation in the particular history of the founding ancient justice tradition, was not the founding barbaric legal tradition that the founding popular imagination sometimes presents it as, were. It was the precise founding most revolutionary single legal innovation in the exact history of the founding ancient justice tradition, were the founding specific principle of proportionality, whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient attempt to limit the founding particular punishment to the exact founding equivalent of the specific harm produced, were. Before the founding proportionality principle, were the founding specific victim's family might exact the founding particular punishment of the exact death for the founding specific minor theft. The precise founding most consequential single legal vulnerability of the founding ancient justice tradition were the founding unlimited escalation of the founding revenge tradition, that the particular founding proportionality principle was specifically designed to prevent, were. The founding specific Hammurabi Code's particular founding most morally complex single dimension was the precise founding expression of the specific social hierarchy that the founding laws simultaneously regulated and reinforced, where the founding specific laws distinguished between the particular founding three social classes of the exact ancient Babylonian social tradition, the founding Awilum, the founding Mushkunum, were, and the founding Wardum, whose precise founding institutional character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific founding social hierarchy, whose exact founding institutional inequality was the founding most consequential single social reality of the particular Babylonian social world, were. The founding specific punishment for the same founding offense was the particular founding different punishment, depending on the exact founding social class of the founding victim and the founding offender. The precise founding most institutionally revealing single legal dimension of the specific Hammurabi Code, whose founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the particular ancient legal tradition's founding most consequential single social reality, were. The founding specific debt slavery tradition of the particular founding Babylonian legal world was the precise founding most morally complex single dimension of the exact founding Hammurabi Code's particular founding social reality. The founding specific institution, whose exact founding institutional character was the founding most complete single expression of the particular ancient world's founding most consequential single social vulnerability were the founding specific condition in which the exact founding most economically vulnerable single members of the founding Babylonian social world could be reduced to the particular founding debt-slave condition, whose precise founding institutional character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific founding social injustice, whose exact founding institutional reality the founding Hammurabi Code simultaneously regulated and preserved. Were the founding specific black diorite stele of the particular founding Hammurabi Code stood in the founding Babylon for approximately 6 centuries, before the founding specific Elamite raid of 1155 BCE carried it to the particular founding Susa, where it would remain buried until the exact founding French archaeological expedition of 1901 CE discovered it and brought it to the founding specific Louvre where it stands today. Were the founding specific legal tradition, whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient attempt to organize the founding human community through the exact founding rational legal principle, survived the founding specific physical removal of the particular founding stele. Because the founding specific legal tradition had been copied throughout the particular founding ancient Near Eastern world, in founding specific manner of the exact institutional tradition, whose founding character was more consequential than any particular founding physical monument. Were the founding specific prophet Nahum of the particular founding ancient Hebrew tradition did not record the founding precise fall of Nineveh with the exact historical distance of the specific founding scholarly tradition. He recorded it with the founding particular satisfaction of the specific founding member of the exact people whose particular founding experience of the founding Assyrian imperial terror was the founding most personally consequentials of the precise institutional experience of the precise founding Hebrew political tradition. Were the founding specific text of the particular founding Nahum prophecy, the precise founding most consequential single biblical response to the specific founding Nineveh tradition. Describe the founding destruction of the particular founding city with the exact founding language of the specific prophetic tradition applied to the founding most deeply personal single institutional satisfaction available to the founding particular Hebrew community. Were woe to the city of blood, full of lies, full of plunder, never without victims. Were the founding specific woe was not the founding prophetic warning directed toward the founding future. It was the precise founding retrospective satisfaction of the particular founding community that had watched its founding most feared single enemy destroyed. Were the founding specific coalition that destroyed the particular founding Nineveh in 612 BCE was the precise founding most consequential single military alliance in the exact history of the founding ancient Near Eastern military tradition. Were the founding Nabopolassar, the particular founding king of the exact Neo-Babylonian Empire, whose precise founding character was the founding most consequential single Babylonian military achievement since the founding specific Hammurabi tradition, organized the founding specific alliance between the particular founding Babylonian military forces and the exact founding Medes, whose particular founding military character, single expression of the specific Iranian mountain tradition, applied to the founding most consequential single ancient Near Eastern military challenge, single ancient, were the founding specific Medes whose exact founding geographic position in the founding Zagros Mountains provided the particular founding strategic advantage of the specific mountain military tradition had been the founding precise Assyrian vassals, whose exact founding institutional submission to the founding specific Assyrian imperial authority had organized the founding particular founding relationship for approximately a century before the founding specific alliance with the particular founding imperial submission converted the Chronix imperial into the founding history of the founding ancient military tradition, into the founding most consequential single imperial tradition, precise imperial tradition. Were the founding specific siege of Nineveh lasted approximately 3 months, were the particular founding Babylonian Medes alliance, whose exact founding military forces surrounded the specific founding Nineveh, in the particular founding spring of 612 BCE, applied the precise founding most comprehensive single siege tradition in the exact history of the founding ancient military tradition. to the specific founding most impressive single fortified city. In the particular history of the founding Assyrian imperial tradition were the founding specific Nineveh's exact founding defensive walls, the particular founding most impressive single fortification in the precise history of the founding ancient military architectural tradition were the founding specific walls, whose exact founding height and width were the founding most complete single expression of the particular Assyrian military architectural achievement, were breached in the founding specific manner of the particular ancient military tradition, were the exact flooding of the founding defensive moat through the founding specific diversion of the river, whose particular founding institutional character was the founding most consequential single engineering achievement of the specific ancient siege tradition, were the founding specific destruction of Nineveh was the particular founding most complete single act of ancient imperial destruction in the exact history of the founding ancient world, were the founding Babylonian Medes forces burned the specific founding city with the founding completeness of the particular founding military destruction, whose exact founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient military revenge tradition, applied to the founding most feared single ancient institution as the precise history of the founding ancient Near Eastern political world, where the founding specific Assyrian royal archives were burned, were the particular founding Nineveh palace complex, whose exact founding architectural character was the founding most impressive single royal architectural achievement in the precise history of the founding Assyrian imperial tradition was destroyed, were the founding specific library of Ashurbanipal, whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient scholarly tradition, was buried under the founding specific rubble of the exact founding destroyed palace. The founding specific most consequential single scholarly loss in the particular history of the founding ancient scholarly tradition were preserved only by the founding specific accident of the exact clay tablet's particular founding fireproof character, were the founding specific post-Assyrian world was reorganized under the particular founding Neo-Babylonian Empire, whose exact founding institutional character was the founding most consequential single successor tradition of the specific Assyrian imperial collapse, were the founding Nebuchadnezzar Su, the particular founding most consequential single Neo-Babylonian king, whose exact founding military achievement included the precise founding destruction of the specific Jerusalem temple in 586 BCE, organized the founding most impressive single cultural and architectural achievement of the exact Neo-Babylonian imperial tradition in the particular history of the founding ancient world, were the specific founding Babylon, whose exact founding institutional character was the founding most complete single expression of the particular ancient urban achievement in the precise history of the founding ancient world, were the founding specific world that the particular founding Assyrian terror had organized through the precise founding most deliberately calculated single use of the specific institutional violence in the exact history of the founding ancient imperial tradition was not, where after the founding collapse of the specific Nineveh in 612 BCE, were a founding world of the particular founding peace and the exact founding justice. It was the precise founding world of the specific Neo-Babylonian Empire, whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the exact founding imperial ambition applied to the founding most consequential single ancient Near Eastern political tradition, were the founding specific Cyrus the Great, whose precise founding character was the founding most institutionally innovative single conqueror in the exact history of the founding ancient world was approaching, were the founding specific Cyrus the Great of Persia entered Babylon in October 539 BCE, not as the founding conqueror, but as the founding liberator. The precise founding most consequential single political rebranding in the exact history of the founding ancient imperial tradition were the founding specific institutional innovation, whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient political intelligence applied to the founding most consequential single political problem of the exact ancient imperial tradition, were how do you convert the founding particular conquered population from the founding enemy into the founding ally, without the exact founding military devastation, whose particular founding institutional cost was the founding most consequential single practical obstacle to the precise founding imperial expansion, were the founding specific Cyrus cylinder, the particular founding clay cylinder, whose exact founding inscription was the founding most consequential single ancient human rights document in the precise history of the founding ancient political tradition, recorded the founding specific Cyrus's particular founding political statement with the exact founding institutional sophistication of the specific ancient political traditions, founding most consequential single personal political achievement, were. The founding specific Cyrus declared that he had entered Babylon without the particular founding battle, because the exact founding Marduk, the founding specific most important single deity of the particular Babylonian religious tradition, had called him to restore the founding specific proper religious order that the founding particular founding Nabonidus had disrupted through his specific neglect of the exact founding Marduk temple tradition, were. The founding Cyrus was not the particular founding conqueror of the exact founding Babylon. He was the precise founding divinely appointed restorer of the specific founding proper religious and political order, whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient political traditions, founding most sophisticated single legitimating narrative, were the founding specific Nabonidus, the particular founding last king of the exact Neo-Babylonian Empire, whose precise founding character was the founding most consequential single institutional vulnerability of the specific Babylonian political tradition in the particular founding years immediately preceding the exact Cyrus conquest, had organized the founding most institutionally divisive single royal policy of the particular founding Babylonian royal tradition, were the founding specific promotion of the founding Sin Moon god tradition, at the expense of the precise founding Marduk, whose particular founding institutional authority was the founding most consequential single religious resource of the exact Babylonian political legitimacy, were. The founding specific Babylonian priestly tradition, whose founding institutional authority depended on the particular Marduk temple tradition found in the founding specific Cyrus. The precise founding most religiously respectful single ancient conqueror in the exact history of the founding ancient imperial tradition. The particular founding most institutionally convenient single political ally available to the specific founding Babylonian priestly tradition's exact institutional self-preservation, were. The founding specific Cyrus cylinder's particular founding content was the precise founding most consequential single ancient political document in the exact history of the founding ancient human rights tradition, were. The founding specific Cyrus declared the particular founding right of the specific conquered populations to return to their founding homelands, were. The founding Cyrus declared the particular founding right of the specific conquered populations to restore the particular founding religious traditions, whose exact founding institutional character was the founding most consequential single cultural resource of the precise founding conquered populations, were the founding specific exile. The particular founding Babylonian captivity, whose exact founding character was the founding most consequential single event in the precise history of the founding Jewish religious tradition, was ended by the founding specific Cyrus's particular founding edict, whose exact institutional authority was the founding most consequential single act of the specific ancient human rights tradition before the founding particular UN Universal Declaration of 1948, were the founding specific Babylon, that the particular founding Cyrus inherited in 539 BCE was still the founding most impressive single city in the exact ancient world, the precise founding most complete single expression of the specific urban achievement in the particular history of the founding ancient Near Eastern civilizational tradition, were. But the founding specific Babylon was no longer the founding particular center of the exact ancient world's political and cultural tradition. It was the precise founding most prestigious single provincial capital of the particular founding Persian imperial tradition, with a founding specific city whose exact founding institutional character was the founding most consequential single ancient urban inheritance of the precise Persian imperial administrative tradition, were. The founding specific Mesopotamian civilizational tradition would continue to produce the particular founding most consequential, single cultural and intellectual achievements of the exact ancient world for approximately another 5 centuries following the founding specific Cyrus conquest. The founding specific Babylonian mathematical and astronomical tradition, whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the exact ancient scientific achievement in the precise history of the founding ancient intellectual tradition, were the founding specific Babylonian astronomers, whose exact founding astronomical observations were the founding most comprehensive single ancient astronomical tradition in the particular history of the founding ancient scientific tradition, produced the founding specific mathematical tradition, whose exact founding character was the founding most consequential single contribution of the particular Mesopotamian intellectual tradition to the precise history of the founding modern mathematical and scientific tradition, were the founding specific Mesopotamian civilizational tradition, whose particular founding character had organized the exact ancient world's founding most consequential single civilizational experiment across approximately 4,000 years of the specific Mesopotamian historical tradition, was approaching the founding precise conclusion of its founding particular independent political expression. But the founding specific intellectual, were legal, literary, and institutional achievements whose exact founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the particular Mesopotamian civilizational tradition, were already the founding most consequential single ancient civilizational inheritance of the precise modern world, were, every time you look at a clock, you are looking at ancient Mesopotamia, were the founding specific 60-minute hour and the particular founding 60-second minute, whose exact contemporary institutional character organizes every specific digital timestamp and every particular electronic clock in the precise contemporary world, are the founding most ubiquitous single institutional expressions of the specific Mesopotamian in the exact contemporary world. The founding specific sexagesimal number system was the founding most complete single expression of the exact Babylonian mathematical traditions, founding practically splintery consciential single innovation. The founding 60 base system was adopted because the founding specific 60 has more founding divisors than any particular founding smaller number. It can be divided evenly by the founding specific 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 15, 20, and 30, were the precise founding most practically useful single mathematical property in the exact history of the founding ancient mathematical tradition for the particular founding institutional purposes of the specific ancient commercial and administrative tradition, whose exact founding institutional requirements made the founding divisibility the founding most consequential single mathematical property, were. The founding specific wheel is the founding most consequential single mechanical innovation in the exact history of the founding human technological tradition. The particular founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient mechanical intelligence applied to the founding most consequential single practical problem of the exact ancient transportation tradition, were. The founding wheel appeared in the founding Mesopotamian civilizational tradition in approximately 3500 BCE, not initially as the founding transportation wheel, whose particular founding character would eventually organize the specific entire ancient and modern transportation tradition, were but as the founding specific potter's wheel, whose exact founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the particular ancient ceramic manufacturing tradition's founding most consequential single technological innovation, were. The founding transportation wheel appeared approximately 300 years after the founding specific potter's wheel, the precise founding most consequential single technological transfer in the exact history of the founding ancient technological tradition, were the founding specific insight that the particular founding circular rotation, whose exact founding character had organized the specific potter's wheel, could be applied to the founding most consequential single transportation problem of the exact ancient world, were. The founding specific plow, whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient agricultural technological tradition, was developed in the founding Mesopotamian civilizational tradition in approximately 3500 BCE. The founding most consequential single agricultural technological innovation in the exact history of the founding ancient agricultural tradition were the precise founding mechanical advantage, whose particular founding agricultural character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient human attempt to multiply the founding agricultural productive capacity of the exact founding human labor tradition, where the founding specific plow converted the particular founding agricultural labor of the exact ancient farmer from the precise founding, most physically demanding single agricultural task in the specific history of the founding ancient agricultural tradition. The founding manual soil preparation, whose exact founding institutional character was the founding most consequential single agricultural bottleneck of the particular ancient farming world, into the founding specific mechanically assisted agricultural tradition, whose exact most consequential single agricultural productivity improvement in the precise history were the founding specific legal tradition of the exact Mesopotamian civilizational tradition, the particular founding most institutionally consequential single contribution of the founding Mesopotamian world to the precise history of the founding modern legal and political tradition, organized the founding specific legal traditions of the exact Jewish, Christian, and Islamic religious worlds in ways whose particular founding institutional consequences are the founding most complete single expression of the specific ancient Mesopotamian legal traditions founding most practically consequential single modern institutional legacy, the founding specific eye for an eye principle, whose exact founding institutional character was the founding most consequential single legal innovation of the particular founding Hammurabi Code, organized the founding specific Mosaic law tradition of the exact Hebrew religious tradition. The precise founding most consequential single ancient legal transfer in the particular history of the founding ancient Near Eastern legal tradition were the founding specific proportionality principle, whose exact founding institutional character was the founding most consequential single contribution of the particular Mesopotamian legal tradition to the precise history of the founding Western legal world, were the founding specific flood narrative of the exact Gilgamesh epic, whose particular founding character was the founding most complete single expression of the specific Mesopotamian flood tradition, was the founding most consequential single narrative precursor to the particular Noah story of the exact Jewish biblical tradition, were the founding specific scholarly discovery of the particular founding Gilgamesh flood tablet, the precise founding most consequential single archaeological discovery in the exact history of the founding ancient Near Eastern archaeological tradition, were the founding specific 1872 CE discovery by the particular founding George Smith of the exact Babylonian flood narrative that preceded the founding specific biblical flood narrative by at least 1,000 years, was the founding most publicly consequential single ancient discovery in the precise history of the founding 19th century CE archaeological tradition, were producing the founding specific institutional crisis of the particular founding Victorian biblical tradition, whose exact founding institutional response to the discovery was the founding most consequential single scholarly debate in the precise history of the founding modern biblical scholarship, were the philosophical question that the specific Mesopotamian civilizational tradition poses most forcefully is the particular founding one about the exact relationship between the founding human civilizational achievement and the founding environmental vulnerability that the specific civilizational tradition produces, were the founding Mesopotamian irrigation system that supported the particular founding most sophisticated single ancient civilizational tradition in the exact history of the founding ancient world also produced the precise founding soil salinization, the exact founding chemical process whose particular founding agricultural consequence of the specific civilization single achievements founding most consequential single environmental self-destruction were the founding specific salts that the irrigation water deposited in the founding particular soil reduced the exact founding agricultural productivity of the specific Mesopotamian plain over centuries until the particular founding agricultural collapse of the exact founding Mesopotamian heartland produced the precise founding, most consequential, single civilizational vulnerability of the specific Mesopotamian agricultural tradition were. What do you think? A civilization born between two rivers 6,000 years ago that invented writing, the wheel, the hour, the minute, law codes, literature, cities, were in the first human rights declaration. Is that a story of the founding human genius for the specific civilizational achievement, or the precise founding, most consequential single expression of what the exact combination of environmental pressure and human organizational capacity produces when the founding specific conditions make the exact founding civilizational experiment not merely possible but inevitable? Leave your thoughts below, because the history of Mesopotamia is not finished. Every specific hour you track, every particular law that protects your rights, and every exact story about a hero who faces death and searches for meaning, is the founding most complete single contemporary expression of the specific civilizational tradition created between two rivers 6,000 years ago, and the ending remains genuinely uncertain.